Hello friends, and welcome to another devotion. If you've been following along with any of my devotions, especially in the last few months, you probably recognize this spot, especially if I swing the camera around a little bit, because I'm here in our backyard, and this place where I'm filming this one is once again our garden, where, if you remember, I showed you a bunch of really wonderful things happening this year. As first of all, we sowed that garden and then watched the plants come up and grow and produce a really good harvest of all sorts of lovely stuff. But as you can see, this is a very different spot right now than I've shown you before, isn't it? Because there's just nothing growing here. And if you live here in Edmonton, or if you've heard about what happened here the last couple of weeks, you remember what caused all of this. Of course, we had an early winter descend on us quite quickly, and we had about a week and a half of really cold weather, which made me scurry out here and dig out the last things that were still harvestable. Got the carrots out before they froze solid, and I also cut down the sunflowers, which had frozen solid, and they were just dead as anything. And guess what? That's all that's left of the sunflowers now. You can see there's a row of stalks there, a row of stumps, and in the background there's the husks just waiting to be finally disposed. So you can probably tell I'm kind of sad about all of that. Really enjoyed the garden this year. It was a great experiment. I hadn't grown a garden like this for many years and had a lot of fun with it. Enjoyed some good successes and ate a lot of really nice produce out of these couple of little garden boxes here in our backyard. But even as I'm sad about the end of the garden, the end of the season, you know what? I'm also hopeful for next year, because here we are in this beautiful sunny afternoon, and the promise of the sunshine is that there will be another growing season. And I'll get to build on the things I learned this year and plant a bunch more seeds, and I hope get an even better sort of harvest next year than I already enjoyed this year. Well, because this is a devotion, I'm making some connections here, of course, and maybe you can even guess what some of those connections are. If you've been following along with me before, you know that I like to talk about life in terms of my gardening experience here, and especially the fact that today is All Saints' Day gets me thinking about another set of connections, because on All Saints' Day we remember the lives of those who have gone before us in the faith, those who enjoyed an abundant life, a rich life, a productive life, a life that we shared with them, and we also enjoyed as we spent that time with them and got to know those people. And now, on All Saints' Day, we especially focus on those who have gone, those who have left nothing left here in this world except the memories on the one hand, and the husks on the other hand. The husks of their bodies sown in the ground, the husks of their bodies awaiting resurrection because of their faith in Jesus. It's a sad time, isn't it? And yet at the same time, our grief is tempered by joy. St. Paul tells us in one of his letters that we do not grieve as those who have no hope. We don't grieve the way the rest of the world does, because we know that there will be life again for those who have died in Jesus. They have been sown in the ground just the way he was sown in the ground, so that what we see right now is not the end at all. It's just the promise of what is yet to come. And yet All Saints' Day is not only about other people either, it's also about you and me. Because as we look ahead, we can anticipate for ourselves too the coming of the autumn season in our lives, the time when we also will be frozen out of this life here that we enjoy so much now, the time when we also will be cut down, and there will not be much left of us in terms of our mortal remains anymore either. But that's not the end of the story. Come with me. I'm going to bring you up here onto our deck and show you something that I did even as I was cutting down those sunflower stalks and preparing the stalks to be disposed of. Look what else I did. I not only cut down the stalks, but I saved the heads of those stalks. And look at this. You can see here we've got a head. It doesn't look like very much in a way, but look what it's full of. Seeds. Seeds of life, seeds of growth, seeds that will produce a marvelous harvest next year, I hope. That's the promise we have in Jesus, that because he died and rose, death is not the end for us either. And at this time of year, as we look at the end of so much of the abundant life that we've enjoyed in this past growing season, we're sad by that, of course we are. And as we look at, remember the death of those whom we've loved, and as we anticipate our own passing from this life, yeah, we're sad about all of that too, aren't we? But it's not the end. For just as Jesus died and rose, so will we, and so will our loved ones in Jesus. So there's some hope to share together with one another. There's some hope to dwell on, to carry us through the autumn, to carry us through the winter, to carry us through all the way to the abundance of brand new life again in the spring. God grant you that hope and anticipation because of Jesus. God be with you. Till next time.